Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So listen. This is how I've decided I'm going to start all these podcasts. Because I don't know how long I'm going to be talking to you for. You don't know how long I'm around for. So I want to give you your flowers whilst you can still smell them. So let me start this intro by how I got to know you. And it's these, to me, not only got to know you, but how we formed this relationship and bond that we have outside of you and me just having a passion for shoes, creating content around that. It is finally getting to meet you and getting to know you through the Adidas events that we've had. I walked through this space and I had a chat with Mo. One thing that I was sort of raised, kind of the principles that I was raised with, is humility. And I don't understand your humility. It actually confuses me. Now, not to say because you have a big following, you do this running shoe stuff, you're actually a beast of a runner. You know, when you're so humble that you make someone feel so comfortable, I started thinking I could run with you. that reality quickly disappeared. But I just want to say, man, I don't know if it's a function of your upbringing, you being the family man that you are, but I just admire this humility that you show and how you've sort of even taken me on under your wing with counsel, advice, and me sort of getting to believe in what I'm doing is a function of people like yourself shaping me. But the one thing that I will not forget is the humility, Geoffrey Crow, and what you sort of show. I see your involvement in your local running scene, and that is very precious. Not only seeing you in the international scenes with the London Marathon, the Germany trips, the trips we've had to Boston, the Adidas stuff. Take it from me, you're genuinely one of the most humble people that I've gotten to know, and that I don't take for granted, and I wanted you to know. I appreciate you for that.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure, Aubrey. And yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm quite a chill guy. I
Yeah.
take people sort of at face value, no agenda behind what I do. I like nice people.
Yeah,
One of
yeah, yeah.
one of the mottos I like in life is don't be shit to people, and I
Absolutely.
kind of live by that. And
Absolutely.
I don't judge. I don't try not to get into sort of like any conflict with people. And I appreciate other people that have humility and that are authentic and
Yeah.
honest. I guess those are my kind of people, and it's probably why we get on.
Yeah. All right. So, just in case people don't know you, because I kind of know you from that Instagram space, and it's you. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Out of the people I follow on Instagram, it's you and Davey, and Davey, I kind of ran into him accidentally, literally down the road, and he's based in
Yeah.
South Africa, and not many other people that I know within this running content creation, shoe tube, and running shoe community. Some people might not know who you are. So I kind of want to introduce you to my community because there aren't many good people doing this stuff. And you can literally stop doing all this running YouTubey stuff and actually still see the chill guy and good guy you want to spend time with. So I'm going to run you through a few questions just to introduce you to my community, just in case people don't know who you are. Just a little bit about you. So let's start with the easiest one. How did you get into running?
Oh, I guess, I mean, let's start. I got into running really late.
Yeah.
I just turned 45 years old last week. I only started running just before the age of 40, and I guess that's where it started. It was just before COVID.
Yeah.
So it had nothing really to do with COVID, but it really had everything to do with heading into my 40s. I've always been athletic. I've always enjoyed sports. I've always enjoyed the passion of running, keeping fit, eating healthily, looking after your body. And
Yeah.
I guess I really just wanted to go into my 40s feeling and looking the best that I can. I also had the fortune of being able to change jobs from a 9 to 5 office job
Yeah.
to a remote sort of like online job,
Yeah.
working for a US firm. So that opened up my mornings in terms of work time. And I had the opportunity to start running in the morning and training, and I wanted to just kind of pursue that and see where it would take me.
Yeah,
So,
but Jeff, you could have been, I don't know, it could have been rugby, it could have been basketball, it could have been, why running?
I'd like to say that I sort of had a history of running, and I enjoyed running from a young age.
Yeah.
I never really partook in any kind of distance running in my youth. I did some athletics in school. I guess I was quite fast. I did sort of like 100-meter races and 400-meter hurdles. I think I did kind of okay, but like not exceptionally.
Sheesh,
Or
400-meter hurdles, yeah?
Yeah, it was a tough one. I think by default I got into the team because no one else wants to actually do that. It's not an easy race, so so that was my start. So I guess like by being in corporate for most of my life, I really didn't have the opportunity to pursue running. I always enjoyed the aspect of keeping fit, looking after my body, being healthy. I like challenging myself. I like performance. So I guess when I had the opportunity, I kind of went all in and see where it would take me.
So how do you go from, I just want to look after myself, I'm about to hit my 40s. I'd like you to just talk me through. Let's start with one distance. So let's start with the marathon distance. How do you go from that? Take me to your first marathon. How did you find yourself there? And then take me to the fastest one you've recently done.
Okay, so started the running journey kind of just before the age of 40. Relatively fit, but not marathon fit. So obviously everyone knows that the right way to train is to go through a phase of sort of base building, or sort of like getting aerobic fitness up. And that's not really sexy running. That's a lot of easy miles, running daily, being consistent. No pace work, no speed work, no objectives with anything in mind like that. It's just really committing to the process and getting out there every day, lacing up, going for your run. So, and that being new to running for me and new to running for anybody, it's going to take time. So I'm talking years. You don't just jump on a training plan, a 16-week training plan, and build up to a marathon and expect to perform or get the best out of your ability that you can. It actually takes years to.
Did you have a coach? Did you have a program? Did you have an app? What were you doing?
Okay, so when I started, I really just started journaling my running. I didn't have a coach at the time. I didn't have any kind of training plan. I really just went out and tried to be consistent, running 5 days a week. So maybe it wasn't even much at the time, maybe 40 to 50 kilometers a week. Easy runs. I soon got in touch with a local coach in the community. Actually, my wife, for, I think it was a birthday present, she maybe wrote a little note for me and said, "Happy birthday, as one of the presents. Here's a coaching, sort of like a coaching voucher for the next 6
Tell you what.
That you've pursued your sort of like
that there is how to do birthdays. Hey,
let's get it professional.
Come on, love that. Listen, Jeff. Listen,
best gift anyone can give you.
That's it. Ladies, if you're listening, ladies, fellas, if you're listening and your lady's a runner, hey, I'm telling you now, whether it's wedding anniversary, I don't know, whatever it is. It's not Valentine's yet. I'm jumping the gun. Get a runner subscription, Cooper subscription. A coach, I don't know. Anyway, I distracted you there. Carry on.
All right, cool. So that's kind of where it started. So I was with a local coach for maybe 6 months. I joined his program. I joined his local runs in the weekends and sort of twice during the week. And very soon, started seeing a lot of potential. As you know, when you start running, the growth happens exponentially. You just like almost every run that you're going for, you're running PBs because you've never done it before. You're starting now to kind of like see the potential in your running, which is really enjoyable. And that's how it actually hooks you. And you're like, all
Right.
right, I'm doing this. I'm feeling better because I'm running. I'm feeling better because it feels easier. And that cycle continues for a long time. So I was with the coach, and soon sort of outgrew him and his sort of running. Nothing against him, but it was very like recreationally based. Him and his running group, kind of general standardized training plan, nothing too specific or personalized. So I looked for another coach, found an ex-professional runner, and that's where we really started seeing the potential, not just in terms of running, but talking about the technical aspects of running, really changing of mindset and finding the potential in working through hard times. Like, as you know, it's running is as much physical sport
Absolutely.
as it is mental when you're looking at endurance athletes and sports.
And had you done a marathon before
So,
joining
okay, so
that
that's where
coach?
we're getting to. So this was sort of like late 2020, 2021. It was really
Right.
just about building a base, getting experience, running consistently,
Yeah.
sort of joining some local running groups, communities, really just sort of like getting a feel for the sport. Late 2022, there was a local marathon, and that's kind of like, in my inexperience and naivety, I was like, been training a bit, I'm feeling good now, let's see what this marathon stuff is all about. So literally the closest town to us, which is maybe 15 kilometers away, has this really cool marathon as an annual event, Wally Hayward, and I jumped on it with, I think, 6 months to prepare. So coming off a nice base
Yeah.
and sort of like getting consistent and having enough time to kind of like mentally prepare and do as much research as possible and chat to people and meet in the running community and stuff like that. So I got into it. First marathon, didn't know what to expect. You recently chatted to Nick Bester. I'd known Nick. He grew up, his family still lives in an area very close to me.
Right.
I see him every now and then when he comes back to South Africa on holidays. And I just recall him, I think it was one of his posts at the time, going sort of like looking back at his running past and saying that his first marathon he ran in a 3:17. And I was just, for some reason, I was like, I aspired to Nick, and if
I'm
I
gonna
can
do
run my first
3:17.
marathon in under 3:17, I can be like him. So
Right.
that was kind of the goal. Very naive, which is fine, but it was kind of like I knew I probably could get there because I've got the ability. It was really just about executing. So I went out there and I ran a 3:12, I think. So I was really stoked with that. I'm like, I can do marathons. Like, really
Jeff.
stoked.
So hold on. So your first marathon, you ran in 3 hours 12. Hey, and how old are you? 41 at this
That
point?
was 42.
42.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's my
that's
only marathon over 3 hours. All of them since then have been under.
Don't jump the gun yet, because this is what I want to show people, man. Because you know what, man, like we move in the same groups when we do these trips, you know. But everyone's the same, you know. The brands will treat you all the same, and then you get on the start line. This is where you kind of know, like, hold on, we're not the same. We're not the same, you know. But again, it's all relative.
I
I
get
get
you,
it.
but we're all runners and we all enjoy the sport and we all share the passion. So when it comes to time, that's all just kind of like personal,
Yeah.
like personal aspiration, and we all have these sort of like personal goals of what we want to get out of the sport. I
Yeah.
guess fast times are just one of those. It doesn't define you. It doesn't make you. It doesn't sort of limit any sort of like capabilities in terms of like your participation or your like what you can give to the sport, what you can like give to the running community. It's
Absolutely.
such a small part of that. I am
Absolutely.
competitive, but it's running fast marathon times and fast race times is a small component of what we do. Yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And I honestly, I hold to that value too. All right. So hold on. So we've done this 312. Wait, let's see how many marathons this has happened over. How many marathons have you done?
I think I've done 6 or 7. Are we including ultra marathons, like marathons within an ultra? Because
No.
So, let me just take you sort of 2 minutes through a quick history of my of the last 3 years of running. So that let's catch up a bit. Okay, so that was in 2022, first marathon, 312. Yes, stoked with that. I can do marathons. Was with a professional coach, really pushed me, kind of brought out the abilities, which was awesome. We spoke about goals. Late 2022 was a next marathon goal for me, which was Cape Town Marathon. That's in October. So I had some time to build up to that, and I was wanting to go under three hours. So with the running group that I was running with, everyone's like, Jeff, you can totally do it. Just like keep consistent, stick with it.
And that's important, isn't it? When your circle sees more in you than you do, it kind of gives you this audacity to go, hey, maybe these people are right, you know?
Well, especially because, I mean, I've had the really good fortune of connecting with a nice group of runners within my local area, really close. It's a small group of us, 5 or 6 people, really experienced runners. I mean, I'm talking 20 years of experience. So when somebody with experience like that says that, it kind of like solidifies it a little bit more than kind of like just a random comment from a recreational runner.
Right.
And they're all like exceptionally good runners, men and women. They've run multiple Comrades marathons, sort of got silver medals. And as you know, that's quite an achievement, a Comrades.
Wait, so silver is sub-7?
Really experienced and at quite a high level. And I was training with them, able to keep up with them. So that kind of pushed me, because you need to be pushed by faster people and people have like really good ability to get that potential out of you. And they kind of like took me under their wing a little bit because of my inexperience in the running game. And
so what was your time in Cape Town?
Yeah, so that was my second marathon. I ran a 358. Sorry,
258.
258.
I was going to say 358. You're coming towards my territory.
I wanted a sub 3, ran 258. Really stoked. I just kind of knew the pace that I had to hit, and just went for it. That gave me really like a lot of confidence. I obviously made a lot of mistakes as a rookie marathon runner does.
Hold on to that point, because I want to touch on that in terms of a specific question I want to ask you, because the people that watch my channel kind of grown an affinity to it or resonate with are people that are coming into this sport, people that are focusing on other things day to day, and running is just one of those things, and they're likely to make such mistakes. So I'm going to hold that point. Hopefully I won't forget to ask it, but towards the back end, after we talk about the shoe stuff, I want to talk specifically about that. But Cape Town,
so kind of like
258.
Within your inexperience, you make mistakes, and I guess what I took out of it is that yes, I got my time, but I made a lot of mistakes, and it could have been a lot better even. So that gave me a lot of confidence, which is really fantastic. After that, sort of coming from the South African running world, we're obsessed with ultra distance and long distance running. It's ingrained in South Africans. We obviously have one of the most iconic ultra distance or ultra marathon races in the world, which is the Comrades Marathon.
Absolutely.
That's 90 kilometers, sort of point to point. Most runners that run in South Africa, that's kind of like the pinnacle of where they get to.
I feel like people that run that, man.
Qualification time to get to do the Comrades. So we've got that. We've got 2.
Oh wait, so running, you can qualify Comrades with a specific marathon time.
Yeah, you have to. Obviously, you have to have run a marathon to be able to qualify for the Comrades because of the distance and time. And
is there a specific time?
a way of like a criteria in order to
Okay,
kind of
fine,
check the
fine.
box to be
I feel
able
like I
to.
feel like people that run comrades, man, you need to get checked out in your heads because that stuff is hard. I've got a friend
It is, and it's
who is
not.
in the
It's
UK.
really
His name
comrades.
is
It's not about.
Kieran. He's
Yeah,
part
I
of
know
the run
Kieran. Yeah,
testing.
he was
Yeah,
here. He's done comrades for the last 2 years.
yeah. And do you know what killed me is after I had recovered from the shock that this guy has done comrades, the next day he says he's going for a recovery run. Now, you've seen me, Jim. You've seen me how I feel, how I move, how my
I've
legs
seen you
go.
walk down those stairs.
And this guy is busy doing a recovery run, you know? And people like that, I feel like you just need to get checked out in your heads. You guys are just absolutely supernatural, superhuman. Yeah, but carry
Yeah,
on, man, carry
so
on.
long distance running in South Africa is an institution,
Yeah,
and I didn't want to get sucked into it too much, but like I think I felt from the beginning that as fast as I am,
yeah,
the longer distances suit me even more because I have a lot of endurance.
got it.
So 2023 was all about hitting a couple ultras. So in early 2023, I went for a training camp in Kenya, and this is
Right.
really this is where it comes like the experience of running comes in. I really just wanted to, and I was loving running as a sport, as a
Yeah,
passion, and
yeah,
being in the sort of like just in it. And obviously, it's in
yeah,
Kenya,
yeah,
ultimate,
yeah,
the fastest endurance athletes in the world all come from
yeah.
it. I just wanted to have the opportunity to get out to Kenya. I was only there for 11 days, so it wasn't practical in terms of staying long enough to benefit from high altitude training, but it was really
Right.
just for the experience of
The
going out and
experience of it.
running with world class East African runners and professional runners that go out there to train. So that was an awesome experience, kind of just to like get the mindset right in terms of like just getting into the sport and hanging out with the best runners and training sort of philosophies, and it was all run, eat, sleep, repeat, which I really loved. When I got back from that, I was fortunate enough at the time. My running club is Nedbank was Nedbank Running Club, which
Yeah,
is
the bank.
yeah, Nedbank. So their running club always has many of the top comrades runners in it.
Okay.
They hold a specific invitational only race down in the coast here in South Africa called the Nedbank 50K challenge, I think it is.
Right.
And it's invite only. I think it's maybe only about 120 athletes that they invite, and from different regions of the country. Each sort of group or Nedbank crew could send one or two runners that kind of qualified or met the sort of like minimum criteria, because you're running with 120 of the top ultra distance runners in the country. And I mean, they set world record, 50 kilometer
Yeah.
world records there. That day that I raced the 50K, the men's and women's 50 kilometer world record were broken, also by Nedbank runners, both of them. So I was incredibly privileged to be even invited to an event like that.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
had sort of 3 or 4 months to prepare for that. That was in February of 2023. So I ran 50K race there after only having run 2 marathons before that. But and that was 5 laps of 10Ks down at sea level on a flat course, obviously.
Oh, I see.
Set up to kind of give the best possible time or times as possible. So I ran a 3 hour 23 50K, which was, I was really stoked at that. I got
That's
through the
bad.
marathon mark.
It's crazy when you think about it, man. And I know you stress that actually, don't focus on the times. It's all relative, personal journey. We all have different goals. But you know what, man? I have respect for people that remain dedicated enough. Like, you know how we are when we go on these trips. This guy over here gets offered a drink. He's saying yes. Gets offered this. He's saying, my man Jeff is staying disciplined all the way through. But I think not only just day-to-day decisions, but the consistency in the training, maintaining a certain body shape, body weight, that level of dedication to bring yourself to a point where you can run 50K at a time that other people can't do a half marathon. That's incredible. And for me, I don't lose perspective on that. And I encourage those that haven't done a 5K, 10K, half marathon to kind of pay attention to that and be inspired, as opposed to being jealous or being negatively looking at somebody who's performing better than you, just to be inspired. And I'm inspired by such stories, man. I think you're just amazingly epic. But yeah, carry on. So we've got two marathons
so
done.
kind of just on that point, I know I've got this large Instagram account, and I've got an awesome shoe collection behind me. I get to test and review all like the latest and greatest shoes in the world. We get sent on these awesome PR trips to the different marathon majors. We get invited to events, launches, new products, releases. But really what it comes down to is like my page is all about inspiring others. And I learned that I didn't set out to do that. I really just set out to kind of journey my personal journal my personal running journey. Mm-hmm. And it kind of just turned out that I was being inspirational by doing what I was doing. And I would receive messages daily from the beginning saying, like, what you're doing is inspiring, keep it up. And that kind of like, cool, like I'll do that, guys, because I'm having a lot of fun too.
Absolutely.
What I'm doing, and if it's inspiring others and getting people into the sport, helping them to live a better lifestyle, getting them off the couch, getting fit, cleaning up their diets, like I'm all in for that.
Yeah, you've definitely inspired me to get more running shoes. I'm fortunate enough that I'm also in your boat, that we're in this blessed position that we get sent these shoes. Absolutely. But you know what, man, there's a passion behind what you're doing that we can't ignore, and you're attracted to it. And I like that about you.
Thanks, man. All right, let's talk 50K race done.
Right.
The next one was an ultramarathon, which is also sort of a very iconic ultramarathon in the world, or in the South African running calendar, called the Two Oceans Ultramarathon, which is 56K, and also mad, down in Cape Town. Absolutely beautiful scenic route, especially the second half, which kind of takes you up the peninsula, where you're running across Chapman's Peak, where they're kind of like, I don't know if you know it, but there's like sheer cliffs down to the sea on one side, Table Mountain up on the other side. All the roads are closed. It's kind of like the south of France, if you can imagine, driving like on those mountain passes on top of like Monaco and Nice. That's kind of like what it's like, just to give you the vibe. So it's a very iconic race, 56 kilometers, and a huge sort of like goal for people, for good runners there, is to be able to get a silver medal, and that's running the 56K under 4 hours. So I trained up and I got to that stage, coming off like a really good training block, that 50K race, like solid training, and I nailed it 3:58. So I got my silver medal there, which also like blew people away. They were like, when did you start running? Like literally, even like exceptional club runners have been running for 10 years before they can get to a stage where they're running a silver medal at Two Oceans. So like at that stage, I knew, I'm like, okay, cool. I think I've got some talent here. Like I'm obviously consistent and dedicated, and that anybody can do if they kind of give into the sport. But I've really got some ability to kind of like push my natural performance to like these high levels, and that really inspired me to then be like, okay, like how far can we go with this, guys? Like, so later that year, I jumped into Cape Town Marathon again. It's just such an iconic race down here in South Africa, and it's
we're gonna chat about that in a second.
Definitely. It's grown year on year. It's something, Cape Town's very close to my heart. We travel down to, as a family, we travel down to Cape Town multiple times a year. And it's just a really cool vibe being down there every year. And it's just a race that you want to be involved in. So I do it every year. And I ran a 2:49 marathon there.
Crazy. What's the course profile like in terms of elevation?
Yeah, it's kind of, I think it's don't quote me on this, but it's like 200 or 300 or 400 meters elevation. So it's not a flat route. You often get affected by wind. So it's definitely not a PB route. But like I said, I was still relatively fresh in the sport and pushing my
excitement and
limits.
pushing
So
yourself.
like
Absolutely.
when I pushed on each marathon and each race I was doing, I was able to kind of get these new PBs and biting off big chunks at a time. So
All right. So we got 312, 258, 248. And then is that when you then hit the world major stage?
Yes, and then I was fortunate enough to get contacted by New Balance and saying, listen, like I've done some work with them before. I had a relationship with them, the brand in South Africa, and they said, do you want to represent us at London Marathon? And like at the time, it's like I just got the call out of the blue.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just check my schedule. I'm good. I can do it. I'm in. All right. So that's kind of like my first introduction to like the international races, the marathon majors. So that was in April of.
Wait, the trip you made into Europe somewhere, but then stopped
I
over in
ran
London.
Copenhagen half marathon. That was kind
Was
of
that before or after London?
Yes, that was before. That was I've obviously done a lot of racing local.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about some of the bigger highlights. Yeah, Copenhagen.
Absolutely. I think that was the time when you went to Copenhagen. You stopped off in England, in London. That's when I first met you.
That's
in
when
person.
we met first. Yeah.
Absolutely. And to me, it's one of those things. And what I like about this running community thing is brought digital interactions into real life. I don't know.
We've spoken about this before. Obviously, there's a certain camaraderie and communication that happens between guys like us who are in the industry, and we get to meet at a whole lot of different events. But meeting in person, kind of just taking it offline and into the real world. It's just lovely to be able to meet like good guys like you and hang out and chat about our sport that we're super passionate about.
Absolutely. And to me, I think that was the first time I got an appreciation that actually, you know what, this guy is actually not just a runner. Obviously, I knew of your family life, but the conversations that we had there told me about your background in terms of relationships. That's when I got to understand. And you actually connected with me in ways you probably didn't realize, because we've got similar backgrounds in terms of the background and the context of your relationship, your child, and that to me kind of took that even to another level where I was actually now not dealing with let's run fast, I was dealing with Jeff. And I think so when you came for London, I remember we get chaotic. I had my son, Josiah, and there were times I left him with you, that kind of thing takes certain conversations to a certain level that actually when you start doing things like what I'm doing now, it's a no-brainer. Let's get Geoffrey on there. Let's have a chat, How did that London Marathon go?
It actually wasn't great. To be honest. London, the experience was incredible. In terms of just my condition at the time, I'd come off an Achilles tendonitis injury for 3 months. I was off running totally. I was doing rehab. I started very gently running on an anti-gravity treadmill. I was doing a lot of oxygen chamber therapy, and this was all sort of like running up to London Marathon. I was not going to, it was never an option not to run London. It was, the only option was, let's try and recover well enough so that we can just get back to running.
Gotcha.
And to be able to get to the race, start it, and run.
I tell you what, this is where I might disconnect this call. This is where I might just hang up on you. If you then tell me this backstory and you tell me a quick, fast time with that context, this is where I go, sorry, Jeff, I can't hear you, mate. I'm losing you. It's glitching. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so the build-up was not good. I was really, it knocked my confidence. Just like, for any runners that have gone through an injury, it's just, how tough it is. It's
absolutely.
Just, you go through, we use running as a tool to kind of to sort of like take our mind off things.
Absolutely.
And when that's taken away from you, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Swimming in the swimming pool, jumping on a elliptical, doing cycling in a gym. It's like you've got to do all of those kind of things as cross training just to take the load off during recovery or during rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Those kind of things don't float my boat. They just don't give me the same thrill.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Over that period, it was extremely tough. I literally came to London Marathon with under 4 weeks of actual running. And for the first week of that running, it was stop, start, run for a minute, walk for a minute, no pace work, no marathon specific building. So I really only had about 2.5 weeks of quality training. And then with that, you can't really expect much. Went into London feeling okay. I just had to manage the Achilles.
Yeah.
Race day actually was awesome. Race day went totally fine. Really loved the experience. I mean, London Marathon is mind-blowing.
I'm willing to argue with anyone. It's the best marathon in the entire world.
And we've done a few now, and like we've experienced the different places, different support, but it feels like the whole city comes out to support you. I don't think there was 1 meter on that whole route where there weren't people cheering you on, which are like
Absolutely.
5 deep. It's just like the whole city just comes out to support the runners from start to finish. So I think just the extra vibe that you get and the extra support, the crowd support, and just running through those iconic locations over Tower Bridge. It's like those are like core memories in my running.
Absolutely. But just to protect you, you don't have to agree with me because the South Africans might come after you if you say it's London. I might be biased in saying that, so you could say Cape Town if you like. But yeah, so what?
So London Marathon was awesome. I ran a 2:55 there. Kind of I just had to get through it. Like, I mean, I was still in pretty good shape. I'd done a lot of cross training, so I didn't lose too much actual fitness. It was just the actual run training that I missed.
Okay.
And when you're down at those kind of levels, we're talking about sort of percentages, which
Absolutely.
cut off 5 to 10 minutes. So with a decent level of base training, you're still able to perform on the day. You're just not going to have a spectacular day. So I ran a 2:55 at London, but more so it was just I went for the experience. My first marathon major, so I couldn't have been happier.
Absolutely. What is
later that year, Berlin. Berlin, and the Achilles behaved the whole year. Still going through rehab to this day. Actually, I do rehab every day. It's something that's just ongoing. For those of you who know about Achilles tendonitis, it's not fun. It takes a long time to heal. But yeah, had a really solid year of training. This was in 2024. And got to Berlin Marathon in really great shape. Could push that really hard. It's a world record course, so I knew I could go fast, and I ran a 2:45.
So, PB at the time.
PB by like 4 minutes.
It's mad, absolutely mad. 2 hours 45 when you're coming from a 3:12. Gradually, I get it. People do 2 hours 10, 2 hours 20. You know, like we're saying, I was speaking to Nick, and he kind of gave me insight between what it took for him to get from that 220 to get to sub 220 for the first time.
And it takes years. It takes years of consistent adaptation.
Absolutely, it's a big price, and I think when you just come in, you kind of go hard on yourself and go, I expect to be doing this. All I've taken from your story, bro, is I'm yet to hit 42, and therefore, if I look to yours, the goal is to hit a 3:12 marathon at 42. Right? You can quote me on it. Working on it. All right. So we're done with.
I've got a really good friend here, an exceptional runner, and he got his marathon PB of a 2:38 at the age of 48. So he's kind of like my idol. He's like, but I think he's a bit of a freak in those terms.
Absolute. Because if you look like
But I just
people,
want to be stronger and fast
yeah,
for as long as possible.
yeah.
And although I'm 45 years old now, I really don't feel 45. I feel a lot more youthful.
You know, one of those Garmin or Cora stats that tell you
Your
real
actual age
age, and then it
versus,
tells you biological age. What does one of yours say on those?
oh gosh, 38, I think.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. All right, okay. So Berlin, we hit 2:45. Um, I know I ran Boston with you. Was it Boston
Yeah,
after that?
yeah. So April this year, Boston
Yeah,
Marathon. Again, came off a really solid block of training for the
yeah,
first
yeah,
time ever.
yeah.
I
Talk
pushed
to me.
really
Talk to
hard.
me.
I had a
Talk
few
to me.
training partners that kind of pushed me hard and got the best out of my training. Um, with my coach, we really did some really solid workouts and sort of like hit the numbers, and we were like, this is what you can do.
Yeah.
The course is hard, but you've trained hard for it, and you just go out and execute on the day. And yeah, I ran a 2:40 at Boston.
This is what I don't get. Because that thing nearly stole my soul.
Yeah,
A lot of
Boston's a
people,
hard route. Boston's a
yeah,
really hard route. I mean, the
I like people talk about this heartbreak hill. I don't really think that's what the punchline is. Actually, yeah, I think it is the punchline, but the hills that come before that are the rest of the joke, right? The elevation when you get to Newton, that thing is just going like this the whole time, and
yeah,
then
you can't.
Heartbreak Hill just
Everyone
takes it up
thinks
a
it's
notch.
just the one hill, but it's a
Yes,
series of four hills, and they kind of build up gradually, 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 and it's the one last, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
one
And
last.
also, let me just flex a little bit, you know. Let me just flex a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
let me. Oh yeah, there it is.
I love that. I love that. Come on,
There
come on.
it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So 240 at Boston.
yeah,
Is that you still your current PB?
that's my current PB. So that's what have we counted now? So that's 6 marathons, a couple of them being marathons within ultras. So that's my kind of like running history to date.
That's mad. That's mad. All right, let's move. Let's move it on. Let's move it on. Thank you. We've run through the marathon stuff, but I just don't want to talk about marathons because a lot of people don't run marathons. You know, they might run, they might do a park run, they might just do couch to 5K. But for everyone, more specifically for you, I'd like you to just run me through your maybe top 5 running highlights through your whole running journey. Tell me 5 moments, 5 things that have happened that you class as these you will never forget and they're forever precious.
Oh man, I think let's just start with number one. So it's the people that I've met, like beyond the actual running times and
Yeah, yeah,
cool things that I've done and the amazing cities that I've got to travel to. I think it's the people that I've met, first
yeah,
of all. And that's guys like you, other guys running influencers in the
yeah,
industry that I've met, just like really cool people. Like you said earlier, people have got a certain sort of like image online, but when you really get to meet them in person, they're just like the passion that we all share for the sport is like just unreal. And that's sort of like well-known guys and
yeah,
all the way down to sort of like just running friends in my local running communities,
yeah.
people that I've really got to be friends with that I've actually never met in my life before, just through our running Instagram accounts, sharing
I like that.
experiences, sharing like advice and things like that. I've really like got some really cool sort of like friendships from
You
out
know,
of
you
running
know, you know
as
what's
a
crazy for
people.
me?
Number
What's
one.
crazy for me is it's weird and it's very, very strange that when you have a shoe in your hand, you're not just seeing Puma, you're seeing a Sean, a Todd. There's a name now. Do you know what I mean? When you dealing with Adidas, you now deal with actually this shoe means and it means you've got names now, and the people that are these brands have now become this shoe that you go. Actually, I know the person that came up with the colorway of this shoe, that came up
Yeah.
with that. And on these trips we get to meet that, and I think that group of people as well is mind-boggling to me because, like, for example, Nike put out the Vomero, and to me, the Vomero is not just a running shoe. It is Nike's been sleeping for a while. They went for a sleepover at their friend's house,
Yeah.
and they decided to then wake up a little bit. The Nike shoe for me was that statement, but more importantly, I know the name of the product line manager who went all out on the Vomero. That part to me is crazy. Anyway, so yeah, number one, the people you've met.
Okay, people that I've met. Okay, that's sort of like the philosophical side out of it. After that, I've had some incredible running experiences. I mean, Aubrey, it's like the opportunities that we get are unreal, and it's some pinch me moments, and we don't take them for granted.
Absolutely.
We realize how fortunate we are. Just some of the moments that I've been able to experience are meeting Usain Bolt in Jamaica.
Mad.
Like that was
Like mad. Like what? Mad.
yeah. Like honestly, like it's like guys done. Like can't get better than this. I'm checked out, retired.
Mad. Yeah, I
So
like
meeting
that,
Usain Bolt out in Jamaica, doing the lightning bolt with him.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
crazy.
cool.
That's crazy.
Last year, being invited out to the Olympics in Paris, being able to attend some of the finals at the track, at the stadium,
Yeah.
witnessing just the elite level of athleticism of Olympians is just mind blowing. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So you've given me. I want to say
people are
you've given me.
superhuman, and to be able to experience that
Absolutely.
firsthand is just incredible. So, being able to go out to the Olympics with Puma last year was just also what a cool experience.
You've got one more to give me. That's four.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we can't ignore Adidas, and they've been really special to me. I've got a really good relationship with the global team. Get invited out to their headquarters every year, and when we're out there, they really spoil us.
Absolutely.
They put us up. They put us up in their accommodation on campus, which is very exclusive, top notch. We get to tour the campus. We get to do the vault tours, see the history of the brand.
Crazy.
Like you said, we get to meet all the product developers and really get to test out. Oh, wait, I've got one more for you. Let's continue with this one. So just being out on Adidas campus, they really treat us. They've still got a really close affiliation with some of obviously the current professional athletes that they sponsor, like Agnes Jabet. And
that's mad.
So we got to meet her like really in a really nice down-to-earth environment where we have time to chat to them, like just on a personal level.
Nice.
So just being exposed to those kind of individuals is really cool. Getting to meet them.
What's this last special
I want to show
one?
you something.
Oh, we're excited here. We're excited. Hold on. So the man's got one more.
No, this is the second last one. So just continuing on that point, so it's sort of like getting to meet some iconic running heroes.
Right.
I don't know if you can see
That's
the great man, Haile Gebrselassie. Got to meet him in person twice now. Really cool character. I think, what is he, over 50 now? I got to run a track session with him side by side. That man can still run a sort of a 3:30 pace, 400 meter, which is incredible at his age. Incredibly talented runner, obviously. Iconic in the running world. Multiple world records set, and what a humble human being. and just an inspiration to any runner, and been fortunate enough to meet him a couple of times, which is really cool. And
Love that.
got that signed Pro 3
Love
from him.
that.
So,
Love that.
yeah, that one stands quite proudly within the collection as one.
What's this special one that you said?
Oh gosh, no, I forgot.
I tell you what. I'm gonna ask you, right? And then you're gonna say, I got to be on a podcast with you, okay? You're gonna act like it's not scripted one bit. All right, so Jeff, you've only given me 4. No,
Yeah,
you give me
what's that?
5.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you
I said I've got one more special
yeah,
one.
yeah,
This
yeah.
one
So
I've been-
let's
this one
let's
I've been
tell them.
saving for last.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, do it now.
And
Do
it's
it now.
okay. That's being on the Bigger Than Running podcast with Aubrey. Highlights.
That's it. Now you can retire, bro. And it should be in that order too. Usain Bolt, Hailey, doing a, then the Bigger Than Running podcast. Come on. All right, man. So I want to say, being African myself, I come from Malawi. There are certain things that I watch that have never happened within this continent. So we'll go with the NBA, for example. Yes, they'll do some camps, but the NBA tours and does exhibition games, sometimes some of the season games outside of the States. It's never been in Africa. UFC is known to go all over the place. And there was a time they had 3 different champions at 3 different weight classes. Ngannou, Usman, and Adesanya. Not once did they do anything in Africa. For me, I feel super excited that even if I don't get a place at Cape Town Marathon, the time when it becomes a world major. Now, I've been to Cape Town before. The highlight for me is those wine trams that take you to the different vineyards. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was with 6 people, and only 2 of us had drinks, even though we paid for all of us. All I'm saying is I want to change the highlight for Cape Town for me, because like you described it, this is almost like a Garden of Eden. I went to a garden, actually. They had all sorts of flowers, plants. I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of the most beautiful gardens there is. We went to Scarborough Beach. We went to all these different places, Table Mountain. To have that as the backdrop of a marathon, and it's now going to be a world major. Give me 30 seconds, 1 minute, what that means to you being South African and Cape Town becoming a world major marathon.
Yeah, so I think it's really bigger than that, Aubrey. I'm extremely excited. I think South Africa and Africa deserve to be sort of like on the world map in terms of running. We're consistently considered an emerging market, and obviously we're on the bottom side of Africa, a long way from Europe, a long way from Asia, a long way from North America, a long way from Australasia. So I get it. We've also not got a huge population, but the running community here it's very special, and I'm very excited to see the running will come to South Africa to experience that. Yeah. In Cape Town. So Cape Town Marathon is going to be hopefully be a major in May 2026. They've already changed the dates. It is
so it stops being
Cape Town
October
Marathon
time.
is in October this year, and they've already changed the dates for 2026 to May. And the process that they had to go through over the last years to sort of qualify and hit the criteria to be considered. It's exactly what Sydney went through. Sydney passed the last check and boom, moved the dates. August 2025, Sydney is going to be the 7th World Marathon major.
Yeah.
Cape Town is on exactly the same trajectory. It's almost a given that after Cape Town Marathon now in 2025, they would have checked that last box, and it will become the 8th.
I'm hyped. Honestly, I am. So I don't care if I'm running. I don't care if I'm not. I'm bringing the family down. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
And I'm so excited
Yeah.
that the running world is going to descend on Cape Town, and Cape Town will be the
Oh, it's gonna
center
be
of
ready. Absolutely.
the running world for that weekend. It's just, and they're going to get to experience the special place that Cape Town is,
Yeah.
and the special people that South Africans are.
Man, we went to the farmer's market. I had myself some
Oh,
oysters.
spectacular!
Had some mushrooms. Now, we eat mushrooms, but the Cape Town people did stuff to these mushrooms. The way they cook these things, I'm telling you, it tastes like chicken. Anyway, I'm excited. Hey, let's
Yeah.
move. Let's
So
move
Cape
this
Town,
on.
like I'm excited to, like just from a personal point of view, I've run Cape Town Marathon 3 times before. This year will be my fourth. I'm an ambassador for Cape Town Marathon. So I've really been assisting them in terms of getting the exposure out there,
All
word out
right.
there, pushing their messaging out, and I couldn't be more prouder to be associated with the race brand.
Well, let's go. Let's go. Honestly, I'm hyped. And then I ran London Marathon this year with the Cooper app, which is the
Yep,
official training app for London Marathon. They then recently announced that they're official training app for Cape Town as well.
that's correct. Yeah.
Oh, love that. Love that. Jeff, there's a world shortage of running shoes. No, actually, no. Let's paint it like this. You know how the Titanic happened? You and your missus on the Titanic. Except both of you survived this time, yeah? So it's not just the missus, or it's not just, the missus struggling for a floating piece of wood. Both of you are. But you also then get to save out of the wall behind you one pair of shoes that you're going to run for the rest of your life in. What shoe are you choosing to do all your runs in? The easy slow run, your 5K, your attempt to break your 240 marathon PB. What is that one shoe? You're only allowed one, and that's it.
Okay, so you actually asked me this question a couple of days ago, so I had a
Yeah,
little bit of time to think about it because it's
yeah,
a tough one. It's not easy and it's not straightforward.
yeah.
I often get questioned like, "What's your best shoe ever?" And it's obviously it comes down to personal preference. So that's
Absolutely.
what I tell people all the time. And for me, it's maybe an easy answer. It's the most versatile shoe, like you say. You can do long runs, fast runs, easy runs, recovery runs. You can use it for race day. Let me get it out for you. It's the
Oh,
Puma Deviate Nitro 3. So for me,
okay.
it's just like, it's the shoe that I recommend to most people when they ask me, and I go through all the criteria in my mind. It's the shoe
I
that's
think I
most
think you
recommended by
pronounced
me.
Adidas Pro 4 wrong. I think you've pronounced Adidas Pro 4
Or did I
wrong.
say Puma?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, go on,
No,
go on.
listen,
I like
I
that.
know, I know you've got a really good affiliation with the where is it? The Pro 4.
Yeah, I can see it on your wall now.
Oh, there we
Is the
go.
red one a Pro 4 too?
Yeah, the red one is a Pro 4. There we go. So that, I mean, what a lovely shoe. It's pretty spectacular, but I don't know if I'd want to be running my
Yeah,
easy runs in them.
I hear you. I hear you.
I might wear out the outsole a bit quick.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a Puma grip
But in terms of a
doesn't
race
run.
shoe, spectacular. You're not wrong. But really, like one shoe that does it all
Yeah,
is the Puma Nitro
love that.
Deviate Nitro 3. It's plush enough that it gives you comfort, nice heel collar. It's got that plate in there, but it's not too aggressive.
Right.
It's a little bit narrow fitting, so it might not suit everybody, but like besides that, it can do anything.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And
one
also,
shoe,
a lot of
one
us make a
shoe
hype
forever.
about the
That's
outsole.
it.
We do a lot of hype about the Puma outsoles, and I have to say that one, not so much the Fast R3, even though they label all of them as Puma grip, but the outsole on that shoe you're holding, absolutely best in class. And I have to tell you, it's a tank.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of grip, yeah, best outsole, especially in like wet weather. But it's also nice and thick, and it's going to give you a lot of durability. You're going to get sort of
Absolutely.
800 plus kilometers out of that shoe.
Absolutely. All right, man.
So
So,
and also, like we can't ignore value for money. Like that shoe is spectacular. I actually recommended it to a friend 2 days ago, and he went out and bought one. The shoe was on special for I think the equivalent of maybe $120 or $130. So I
yeah,
mean, like,
yeah.
no
No, I
brainer.
hear you. I hear you. All right, bro. So we've survived the Titanic, both you and the missus, but the rest of the shoes have washed off. We'll have to recover this running shoe rotation. Might not be able to recover all the shoes you've got in the background over there. Tell me 3 pairs of shoes that you would recommend, or your favorite ones, however you want to phrase it. Like a recovery shoe, pace is not an issue. It's just you going out to do a run, or you did a harsh run and your legs are beaten up. An easy-ish, but also you can do your tempo run, so a versatile shoe. And one more shoe. We mean business. Ignore the distance, but we're going all out. What's that shoe?
Okay, three shoe
Yeah,
rotation, and obviously it's personal preference. I've got a relationship with all the brands, so I like different shoes from different brands.
yeah.
But what really works for me are that Puma Mag Max,
Bang,
just an
yes.
incredible shoe. I mean, you spoke about recovery. So this has got like just a massive chunk of that nitro foam, which is just really easy on the legs.
Yeah.
So that shoe is like so easy just to like reach out for and grab on those recovery days, long run days, and they're actually kind of quick enough to handle a little bit of pace as well. So that's definitely going to be in my three shoe rotation.
Okay.
Next shoe is the new Boston 13, which is just a really versatile shoe, and that can handle some speed work too. New comfortable heel collar and good fit. Again, like quite an easy choice, very versatile, can do just about anything.
All right, hold on. Let me do the drum roll for you for number one. Bang, bang. Uh-huh.
All right, okay, this shoe might surprise some people. Obviously, we are absolutely spoiled for choice in terms
Yeah.
of the category of race day shoes, super shoes. It's the real sexy category. They're expensive. They've got all the tech in. They're fast. They look good. They're wild. And for me,
Ah, you gave it. Oh, oh. You know what? When you said wild, I was like, all right.
you know what? Just like this Saucony Endorphin Elite version 1 is just, I mean, it works for me. Like,
Yeah.
it is an incredibly fast shoe, very minimal, very light, very responsive outsole, very stiff carbon plate. I've still got my 10K PB in this shoe. I
Right.
mean, it's a beast of a race shoe for me. There's been an upgrade recently,
Yeah.
very different shoe, fast in its own right, but maybe just doesn't quite suit me. But
Okay.
like for a race day shoe, I mean, Saucony like just nailed it with this shoe, and I'd love for them at some stage to come back to a version like this. Like that would be the ultimate for me. So 3 shoe rotation: Puma Mag Max, Adidas Boston
Yeah.
13, and the Saucony Endorphin Elite.
Yeah, pronounce Adidas Pro 4 wrong again.
No, listen, mate. Personal preference. These are
Yeah, yeah,
shoes
yeah.
that just like really work for me.
I love that, you know. I love that. You
There's a
find
lot of
something that works for you, you stick with it, you know, and I like that. And also, I like this response coming from you because, bro, you test out all of them, you know, and at the end of the day, it's not to say one's better than the other, but these are works for you as a runner, you know, as someone who enjoys running tech. Because at the end of the day, you know what? I think we all like toys. It's just that toys change as the ages go, whether that be Lego. I think you and me are just stuck on shoes now, and that's it. All right, my man. So we've talked of the origins, we've talked of the highlights, we've talked of the shoes, talked Cape Town. To wind up this podcast, I wanted to just talk about what's next. What is happening, whether it is a life change, whether it is running. What's the next big thing? Let's run faster. Geoffrey Crow, however you want to put it. What's the next thing?
All right, so sort of like maybe breaking down into like what is the rest of my year looking like?
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know.
yeah.
I just ask.
Okay.
I
Cool.
want
So
to
what the
ask the
rest of
blunt
my
and sort of broad question.
yeah. All right.
You
So
choose how what
uh,
your answer is.
okay. So what the rest of my year is looking like
Hmm.
is I've come off. We've obviously come off Boston Marathon and a lot of marathon training. You know how much that takes out of you. I
Absolutely.
got back, spent a lot of time with the family, spent a lot of time recovering nicely, and I really just want to get back to speed. So the current training block that I'm in is all about speed. I'm starting to focus on the sort of like fast track work and sort of like mile repeat
Okay.
times, um, 5, 10K races.
Okay.
So as you know, marathon training really takes the speed out of your legs,
Ah,
and
tell me
I want
about
to
it.
get
Tell
back.
me about it.
So it's like let's run faster. Like we're going back to its origins. Like
Yeah.
getting the speed back in
Is
there.
there a
Like,
specific race? I swear, a race.
there are a couple. There are a couple. In October, there is a local race called the Tembisa Mile.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe it's inspired by what Faith Kipyegon did last week, sort of going for that women's mile world record.
Yeah.
But like, I had it in my mind that I just want to like work up to a really fast mile. I've actually never raced the mile distance before, so I don't
Yeah.
quite know where I would be. Even my kilometer best time has been at the end of a 19 kilometer like speed workout. I pushed 1 kilometer hard where I ran it in 3:02, and that's after 19 kilometers. So I'd love to see where I'm at, where I do some proper speed training and then test my mile time over in a specific workout.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
kind of where I am right now. Um, like I said earlier, Cape Town Marathon at the end of the year. There's also a huge trail race called UTCT in Cape Town that I've entered. So 55 kilometers, and not a lot of people know, but I really enjoy my trail running. And
Yeah.
through sort of like all the running that I've done in the last 4 years, a fair chunk of it has been sort of trail running.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I don't sort of like focus or highlight it as much as
Yeah.
I have, because a lot of the training is road training for
Yeah.
marathons. But I'd say probably I'm more passionate about trail running.
Yeah. I think you need to
Bombshell.
grow out your beard a bit more. Don't
um,
trail runners need to have like super long beards?
Super long.
Super long beards. I swear. If I were to describe a trail runner, the majority of them have like super long beards. You know, they're like the kind of like Indiana Jones versions of running.
Like the art country,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
backcountry
Absolutely.
version of
Yeah.
a
So
run.
work on the base, work on the mileage, but also work on the beard. I want to see it. I want to see it like out here, like ZZ Top kind of vibes.
Yeah, so it's the beard and the bucket hat.
Yeah,
I
there you
think
go. That's it.
symbols, right?
That's it. Done.
Yeah, so trail running is like I'm really passionate about it, and like to be honest, I probably have more ability on the trails. I like
Okay.
very technical trail running, and a lot of road runners are scared of technical trail running. So
Absolutely.
I quite
Absolutely.
like it. UTCT last year, I came fourth in the race that I ran in, and which I was really stoked about. It was a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like
That's
I'm
it,
looking forward to
man.
that. That's going to be quite fun, and that's on Table Mountain
Love that.
in Cape Town.
That's
And
amazing.
maybe, just maybe, I have the opportunity to do another world major late in the year, but can't say anything just yet.
Okay. Okay. Well. Maybe it leaves you a few options though, because it's three. Just saying. I'm doing Sydney. I'm going to Sydney.
Yeah, we know that.
There's
Yeah, it's like
Chicago and huh?
no, I said like with Sydney, I just unfortunately the love hasn't been shared with me.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah. No,
not
I hear
Sydney,
you. I hear
unfortunately.
you.
But I'm traveling to Sydney in the next week, so I'll spend
Okay.
11 days out there. So I'll kind of like start feeling the vibes of
Absolutely.
the run up to
Absolutely.
Sydney Marathon, but unfortunately won't be there for the race. If you
So
enjoy
it
it,
could be
you enjoy it,
Chicago,
Aubrey.
Chicago or Berlin. All I'm gonna say is, I need you to be in Chicago. I don't have a Chicago place, but I'm missing two of the six. I'm missing Tokyo and I'm missing Chicago. Make a plan to be at those two, please. And
I'm
let's
sure
see if we can.
your friend Thomas is going to help you out.
Do you know what, man? You joke around, but I tell you, if there is someone I've got full confidence in to kind of sort such things out, it's that guy. Because all of this stuff started like a joke, like New York. He wasn't even running it. It's like, you know what, man? I just need you to be part of the team. I'm not running it myself. I'm like, so how does that? Yeah, yeah. Like, do you want to run it? What do you mean? Do I want to run it? Yeah,
Do you want to? I'm
but
interested.
it's just really cool, man. I'm
Yeah, I
grateful
mean,
to have
yeah,
them
we
behind me.
get these amazing opportunities to be involved in these awesome events and
Absolutely.
races, and yeah, when they come by or when the opportunity comes by, it's very difficult to say no. So kind of like
Yeah,
do whatever it takes to make it happen.
absolutely. Absolutely, man. Just to wind and close this, man, I just want to thank you. Um, it's very easy, very, very easy to say all these nice things. It's very tough to have the backing to mean it, because like you say, these things get offline and we talk as people. We meet and we interact. We talk about the things we've been through as men. And I just want to say, man, I'm fully grateful to have you in my corner. I'll do anything I can to support what you're doing, your own endeavors. But I just want to say thank you for what you've done for me, whether knowingly or not. The inspiration that you have. I joked around about the shoes, but you know what? When I started this thing and I started seeing what you're doing, I won't lie to you. Africa is limited. Even South Africa is limited compared to in New York,
Yeah.
compared to. But you make this work out of a perseverance, out of a just a pure enjoyment for this stuff, whether it's the content stuff. And it's so easy to support someone like you. It truly is a joy to say, Geoffrey, man, I'm a fan of what you do. And I wish you nothing but the best. More importantly, we spent about an hour and a half. Hold on, what's the time now? Because I had you since 12. Yeah, nearly 2 hours. I don't take stuff like that for granted. We all have things to do, and for you to spare that kind of time to just chat nonsense with me, honestly, man, I'm truly grateful, and I can't thank you enough for your friendship, but also making time today.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, Aubrey. It was when you asked me to come be on your podcast. It was an easy answer, of course.
Yeah,
Yes, I love chatting to you. Just on a personal level, we're good friends, and
absolutely.
I love what you do. I think what you're doing in the running space is unbelievable. Like just the authenticity of just what you do, and just showcasing your skills in terms of being a very personable person and like just getting on with everybody. Like, yes, you haven't got the experience through a lifetime of being an athlete, like neither do I. Like we all come with these different sort of like
Absolutely.
skill sets into this industry. I think you're a special person in those terms, where the running community is fortunate to have somebody like you, and what you're doing and what you're showcasing is awesome. And like you're just making running so much more inclusive,
Yeah,
just in every way. And
yeah.
like, so I've got to thank you for that.
Oh man,
Like
thank you.
we do different things in the running space, and I'm in awe of
Yeah.
what you do too.
Yeah, but don't think saying nice things like that is going to derail me from breaking down your 3 hours, 12 minutes when I turn 42. I'm coming for you. Don't think saying nice things is going to make me forget that. I'm coming for 3 hours, 12. Hey, let me calm down about that. I think I'm getting excited. Hey, brother, thank
Or
you
give
very
it
much.
time, be consistent, be
Yeah,
dedicated like you are, and like
yeah.
who knows what can happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your time. All right.